Let's talk about a problem that I think we all face. The demands on our lives, both at work and at home, they just keep growing. But the one thing that doesn't change? The 24 hours we get in a day. We try to cram more in, we work longer, but it feels like a losing battle, right? So what if the entire time we've been trying to manage the wrong thing? What if it's not about our time at all?
You know that feeling. You are pushing yourself as hard as you can, but you just hit a wall. You're exhausted, maybe a little irritable, and your focus is completely shot. It feels like you're just spinning your wheels, even though you're putting in all the hours. Well, I'm here to tell you that's not some kind of personal failure. It's a capacity crisis.
And here's what that looks like. On one side, you've got demand, and it just keeps shooting up. More emails, more meetings, more expectations. But on the other side, you have your capacity to actually meet that demand. And that, well, it doesn't just grow on its own. It's often flat or even shrinking. And this gap, this growing space between the two, that's where burnout lives.
And here's the real kicker. If we don't do something about it, our physical capacity, our raw horsepower, actually peaks around age 30. After that, we start losing about half a pound of lean muscle every single year.
This isn't just some small problem. It's a full-blown capacity crisis. And for years, we've been told the solution is better time management. More efficient calendars, color-coded to-do lists. But you can't solve a capacity problem by just trying to squeeze a resource, time, that's completely finite. You need a totally different way of thinking.
So this is where we need a total paradigm shift. We've been obsessed with managing time, but time is finite. You'll never get more than 24 hours in a day. It's external, and you can't really control it. But energy, that's a different story. Energy is internal. It can be expanded, and, this is the most important part, it can be renewed. That's the resource we can actually take control of.
And that brings us to the central idea of this whole thing. The real key to sustainable, high performance, and, frankly, a much better life isn't about managing your time. It's about skillfully managing your energy.
And let's not get all mystical about the word energy. The definition from physics is actually perfect. Energy is simply the capacity to do work. If you can systematically increase the fuel in your tank, you'll have more capacity to get things done, to be creative, to be present. It doesn't matter how talented you are, you just can't run on empty.
But here's the thing. We're not cars that just need one kind of fuel. We're a lot more complex than that. Our energy is multidimensional, and to really fire on all cylinders, we have to draw from 4 key sources that are all connected to each other.
Think of it like your own personal power grid. You've got physical energy. That's the raw quantity of energy you have. Then there's emotional energy, which is the quality of that energy. Is it positive or is it negative? Next is mental energy, which is all about your ability to focus. And finally, spiritual energy. That's the force, the purpose behind it all. If you neglect any one of these, the whole system starts to flicker.
But how do the world's best performers, in sports, in business, you name it, actually use that energy? Well, the secret isn't about trying to stay in a high-energy state all day long. It's all about a rhythm, a pulse. And the starting point for that rhythm is realizing this simple truth. It's not just about having energy. It's about the quality of that energy. The way you feel, your emotions, directly impacts your thinking, your creativity, your decision-making. To really perform at your best, you need to feel good. Positive emotions are basically the secret sauce for peak performance.
So let's map this out. We can basically move between 4 key states. In the top right, you have high, positive energy. That's the performance zone. That's when you feel challenged, engaged, focused. Top left is high but negative energy. That's the survival zone. Think anxiety, frustration, anger. Down in the bottom left, you've got the burnout zone. And finally, in the bottom right, you have the really important but often ignored recovery zone.
Now, think about your own workday. Where do most of us live? Well, when things are going well, we're in that awesome performance zone. But what happens when the pressure hits? When a deadline looms or a project goes wrong? We get pulled, reactively, right into the survival zone. We just bounce back and forth all day between feeling great and feeling threat.
And let me tell you, living in that survival zone is incredibly expensive. Your body floods with stress hormones like cortisol, your thinking literally narrows, and blood rushes away from the front of your brain, the part you need for complex problem solving. It's awful for your health, and it drains your energy reserves faster than anything else. It's like a gas-guzzling car in an efficiency race.
So, here it is. Here's the secret rhythm of top performers. They don't just reactively bounce into survival mode. Instead, they move intentionally,
systematically between the performance zone and the recovery zone. It's a cycle of intense, focused work, followed by deliberate, planned renewal.
This really comes down to a fundamental mindset shift. Most of us have been taught to think about our work, and even our lives, like a marathon, this long, endless race where you have to pace yourself and hold back so you don't burn out. But that's all wrong. We need to start thinking like sprinters. Think about it. A marathoner never gives 100% because they know the finish line is hours away. They live in this kind of gray zone of partial engagement. But a sprinter gives absolutely everything they have because they know there's a finish line just ahead. And what do they do after they cross it? They stop and they recover completely. That's the model for work. Intense, focused sprints of maybe 60 to 90 minutes followed by real recovery.
Okay, this all sounds great in theory, right? But how do we actually do it? How do we build this new rhythm into our already crazy lives, especially when our willpower just vanishes under pressure? Well, the answer is the power of rituals.
We are incredibly automatic creatures. Seriously, what you did yesterday is probably a really good predictor of what you're going to do today. Trying to rely on your conscious brain, on willpower to make these big changes is a losing game. Instead, we have to tap into the part of our brains that runs on autopilot.
And that's exactly what a positive ritual is. It's not some vague goal like, I should take more breaks. No, it's a highly specific behavior scheduled at a precise time that you practice over and over until it becomes automatic. You are essentially programming a new beneficial habit right into your operating system.
So let's make this super concrete. A physical ritual could be, I will walk for 15 minutes every day at 12:30 p.m. No exceptions. A mental ritual, the first 60 minutes of my workday, I will work on my most important task, and my phone and email are off. An emotional ritual, every Friday at 4 p.m., I will write one email expressing genuine appreciation to someone on my team. See? Specific, scheduled, actionable.
And here's how you know you've actually succeeded. A behavior becomes a real ritual when the thought of not doing it feels worse than the effort it takes to just do it. It's like anyone who works out regularly knows. You might not always feel like going to the gym, but you know for sure you'll feel way worse if you skip it. That's the goal.
Ultimately, this is all about taking back control. You are not at the mercy of all these external demands. You have the power to seize back control of your energy, to perform at a higher level, and to live a much richer, fuller life. So the only question left to ask yourself is this: what is the one small, specific ritual that you're going to start building today?
Thank you for watching the video. If you like the content we make, press like and subscribe to our channel.